Have you ever wondered what separates truly intelligent people from the rest? What makes them more respected, more successful, and more at peace? Is it their knowledge, their discipline, or something even deeper? Before we begin, if you enjoy thought-provoking content that helps you grow, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Now, let's dive into 6 things that intelligent individuals, especially those who follow Stoic principles, never say. 1. Avoid boasting about knowledge. True wisdom doesn't demand attention. Have you ever met someone who constantly brags about how much they know? These individuals often dominate conversations, eager to impress others with their intelligence. However, boasting about knowledge can have the opposite effect. It alienates people rather than drawing them in. Genuine intelligence is not about showcasing what one knows. It is about understanding, application, and humility. The most intelligent individuals let their actions speak for themselves. They do not seek validation through verbal displays of expertise. Instead, they demonstrate their wisdom through thoughtful decision-making and by offering insightful advice when it is genuinely needed. They are the ones who take time to listen, analyze, and offer solutions that are both practical and beneficial to others. Their wisdom is demonstrated not through empty words, but through their ability to uplift, inspire, and guide others effectively. A key trait of wise individuals is their ability to listen more than they talk. When people listen, they absorb new information, expand their understanding, and cultivate deeper connections with others. Listening allows them to recognize different perspectives, refine their thoughts, and make well-informed decisions. By contrast, those who constantly speak about what they know miss the opportunity to learn from others. Engaging in active listening also demonstrates respect and consideration, which are crucial for meaningful interactions. Moreover, true wisdom involves humility. An intelligent person understands that knowledge is infinite, and there is always more to learn. They do not feel the need to prove themselves in every conversation because they are secure in their intellectual abilities. This humility makes them more approachable and respected among peers. It fosters an environment where people feel comfortable asking questions and seeking advice without fear of being looked down upon. Instead of seeking to impress, truly wise individuals seek to contribute meaningfully to conversations and situations. Another drawback of boasting is that it can hinder personal growth. When someone believes they already know everything, they close themselves off from learning new things. A wise person, however, remains a lifelong learner. They understand that knowledge is not static. It evolves with time, experience, and exposure to new ideas. Instead of seeking to impress, they focus on continuous improvement and intellectual expansion. They read, explore new disciplines, and remain curious about the world around them, always striving for self-improvement. Additionally, wisdom is reflected in actions rather than words. A truly knowledgeable person doesn't need to convince others of their intelligence. Their expertise is evident in their choices, problem-solving abilities, and the way they handle challenges. Their success and contributions speak volumes, rendering unnecessary the need for constant self-promotion. Actions based on wisdom leave a lasting impact, whereas words meant only to impress are often forgotten quickly. Ultimately, avoiding the habit of boasting about knowledge allows for meaningful interactions and deeper relationships. When people engage in conversations with humility, curiosity, and a willingness to learn, they create an atmosphere of mutual respect and collaboration. By listening attentively, applying knowledge wisely, and allowing their actions to reflect their intelligence, they inspire others and earn genuine admiration. Wisdom, at its core, is not about being the loudest voice in the room, but rather the one that adds the most value when it speaks. 2. Never dismiss others' opinions. Rejecting others' opinions outright kills creativity and trust. The wise understand that every perspective holds value, even those that differ from their own. When people engage in discussions, it is crucial to approach conversations with an open mind, as doing so fosters collaboration, innovation, and stronger relationships. An open-minded approach ensures that all voices are heard and that ideas are thoroughly examined before being dismissed. In many situations, individuals are quick to disregard opinions that do not align with their personal beliefs or experiences. This dismissal can stem from ego, stubbornness, or a lack of willingness to see things from a different angle. However, By rejecting alternative viewpoints, one limits their ability to grow intellectually and emotionally. A truly wise person does not listen just to respond or argue. They listen to understand. The ability to engage with differing viewpoints broadens perspectives and sharpens critical thinking skills. Active listening is a key component of wisdom. When people take the time to understand different perspectives, they gain insights that they may not have considered otherwise. Every individual has unique experiences, knowledge, and ideas that can contribute to a broader understanding of a subject. By valuing others' opinions, people create an environment where dialogue flourishes and new ideas are born. Open dialogue fosters a culture of respect and cooperation, making it easier to resolve conflicts and collaborate effectively. Moreover, fostering open discussions builds trust and respect in both personal and professional relationships. When people feel heard, they are more likely to engage in meaningful conversations and share their thoughts without fear of judgment. This trust strengthens bonds and encourages cooperation, making it easier to navigate disagreements and find common ground. In workplaces, families, and friendships, valuing different perspectives enhances decision-making and leads to well-rounded solutions. Dismissing opinions can also hinder creativity. Many groundbreaking ideas and innovations have stemmed from unconventional thinking and diverse perspectives. When individuals shut down alternative viewpoints, they risk missing out on valuable insights that could lead to new solutions and improvements. Embracing different opinions stimulates critical thinking and pushes people to expand their understanding beyond their own limitations. Creative breakthroughs often occur when multiple perspectives are considered and synthesized into something novel and innovative. One way to practice openness to different viewpoints is by asking questions and seeking clarification rather than making immediate judgments. Instead of assuming that an opposing opinion is wrong, a wise person explores the reason behind it. They engage in thoughtful discussions and consider how different perspectives might contribute to a more well-rounded understanding of an issue. They recognize that even perspectives they disagree with can provide valuable insights that refine and challenge their own thinking. Additionally, learning from others does not mean one has to agree with every perspective encountered. It is possible to respect an opinion without adopting it as one's own. The ability to acknowledge different viewpoints while maintaining one's own values and beliefs is a sign of intellectual maturity and wisdom. True wisdom lies in knowing that one's knowledge is incomplete and that there is always more to learn from others. Another benefit of embracing others' opinions is the opportunity for self-reflection. Sometimes, hearing a different viewpoint can challenge one's preconceived notions and lead to personal growth. A wise person is not afraid to reconsider their stance when presented with new, compelling information. They understand that changing one's mind based on newfound knowledge is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to personal development. Learning from others cultivates a sense of humility and keeps the mind open to continuous growth. Ultimately, engaging in open dialogue and valuing diverse opinions leads to enriched conversations, enhanced relationships, and a broader perspective on life. By creating an atmosphere of mutual respect and curiosity, people can learn from one another and continue to grow in both wisdom and understanding. True intelligence and wisdom are not found in stubbornness, but in the willingness to evolve through meaningful conversations and genuine engagement with diverse perspectives. 3. Refrain from complaining without purpose. Complaining is an instinctive human response to frustration, disappointment, or dissatisfaction. It provides an outlet for expressing grievances, seeking validation, or simply venting. However, intelligent individuals understand that complaining without purpose is counterproductive. Constant negativity drains energy, fosters a toxic mindset, and often alienates those around us. Instead of passively dwelling on problems, they shift their focus toward constructive solutions, using their frustration as fuel for action. One of the major drawbacks of habitual complaining is that it cultivates a victim mentality. When people consistently voice their dissatisfaction without taking steps to improve their situation, they reinforce a belief that they are powerless. This sense of helplessness leads to stagnation and a diminished ability to cope with challenges effectively. On the other hand, those who refrain from complaining without purpose recognize that while it's natural to experience frustration, the key lies in how they respond to it. Intelligent individuals practice discernment before expressing complaint. They ask themselves, is this something I can change? Am I speaking up to find a solution, or am I just venting frustration? If a complaint serves no constructive purpose, they choose to either let it go or reframe their thinking. Instead of dwelling on what's wrong, they focus on what can be done to improve the situation. This shift in mindset not only makes them more effective problem solvers, but also helps them maintain a positive outlook. For example, in a professional setting, an employee who constantly complains about workload may find their concerns falling on deaf ears. However, a proactive employee who identifies specific issues, such as inefficient processes or lack of resources, and presents possible solutions is more likely to be taken seriously. By approaching problems with a solution-oriented mindset, they demonstrate leadership and critical thinking, qualities that set them apart in any environment. Moreover, unnecessary complaining can strain relationships, both personally and professionally. Constant negativity can make a person difficult to be around, leading others to distance themselves. In contrast, individuals who express their concerns thoughtfully and constructively foster a culture of open communication and mutual respect. To break the cycle of purposeless complaining, one can adopt strategies such as gratitude practice, problem-solving techniques, and emotional regulation. Practicing gratitude helps shift focus from what is lacking to what is going well, reducing the impulse to complain. Developing problem-solving skills enables individuals to identify actionable steps rather than fixating on obstacles. Finally, emotional regulation helps people recognize when they are frustrated and find healthy ways to process those emotions without externalizing them in unproductive ways. By refraining from complaining without purpose, intelligent individuals conserve their mental and emotional energy, foster resilience, and develop a proactive approach to life's challenges. Instead of being trapped in a cycle of negativity, they turn adversity into an opportunity for growth. 4. No empty promises. Integrity is a foundation of trust, and trust is the currency of meaningful relationships, whether personal or professional. Making promises is easy, but following through on them requires discipline, commitment, and a strong sense of responsibility. Intelligent individuals understand that over-promising may provide temporary satisfaction or admiration, but failing to deliver damages credibility in the long run. Instead, they commit only to what they can realistically accomplish, ensuring their actions align with their words. Empty promises often stem from the desire to please others or avoid confrontation. People may overcommit in an attempt to appear capable, generous, or ambitious. However, when those promises go unfulfilled, disappointment follows. This not only tarnishes their reputation, but also erodes their self-confidence over time. Repeated failures to meet expectations lead to a loss of credibility, making it difficult for others to trust their words in the future. In the workplace, employees or leaders who frequently promise more than they can deliver create a cycle of inefficiency and frustration. Deadlines are missed, expectations are shattered, and morale declines. On the other hand, a person who sets realistic expectations and consistently meets them earns respect and reliability. Intelligent professionals know that it's better to underpromise and overdeliver than to make commitments they cannot keep. Honesty plays a crucial role in maintaining integrity. When faced with a request or obligation, smart individuals assess their capacity before making a commitment. If they are unsure whether they can fulfill a promise, they communicate transparently rather than misleading others with false assurances. This honesty fosters stronger relationships, as people appreciate reliability more than empty words. Moreover, keeping promises is not just about meeting expectations. It's about reinforcing self-discipline. When individuals make and keep commitments, they cultivate a sense of accountability that extends to all areas of their lives. Whether it's committing to a fitness goal, meeting a work deadline, or following through on a personal obligation, every fulfilled promise strengthens their integrity and self-respect. To avoid making empty promises, one can adopt practical strategies, such as setting clear boundaries, learning to say no, and managing expectations. Setting clear boundaries helps individuals prioritize their commitments and avoid taking on more than they can handle. Learning to say no respectfully prevents unnecessary stress and resentment. Managing expectations ensures that both parties involved have a realistic understanding of what can and cannot be achieved. Ultimately, intelligent individuals recognize that their word holds value. They do not make commitments lightly, and when they do, they follow through with action. By prioritizing reliability and integrity, they build lasting trust, strengthen relationships, and create a reputation that speaks louder than empty promises. 5. Don't deny your mistakes. Mistakes don't define you. How you handle them does. Every person, no matter how experienced or intelligent, will make mistakes at some point. The difference between those who grow and those who remain stagnant is the ability to acknowledge, learn from, and take responsibility for their errors. The consequences of denial. Refusing to accept fault does not make a mistake disappear. It only compounds the issue. When people deny their mistakes, they risk losing credibility, damaging relationships, and missing out on valuable learning opportunities. Denial often leads to defensiveness, blame shifting, and even deception. This not only prolongs a problem, but can also create new complications that could have been avoided through honesty and accountability. For instance, in a professional setting, an employee who makes an error on a project and refuses to admit it might try to cover it up. The mistake, if left uncorrected, could result in a bigger failure that affects the entire team. Instead of owning up to the issue and working toward a solution, the employee might blame a colleague or external circumstances. In the end, when the truth comes to light, their reputation suffers far more than if they had simply admitted the mistake early on. The power of admission and growth. On the other hand, those who acknowledge their mistakes demonstrate maturity, integrity, and a willingness to improve. Admitting an error is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of strength. It shows self-awareness and a commitment to learning. When you take responsibility for your actions, you gain the respect of others and build stronger relationships based on trust. Consider a leader in an organization who publicly acknowledges a poor decision. Instead of trying to shift blame or ignore the mistake, they openly discuss what went wrong and what lessons can be learned. This level of transparency fosters a culture of trust and encourages others to take ownership of their actions as well. Employees in such environments feel safe to innovate and take risks, knowing that mistakes will be treated as learning experiences rather than failures to be punished. Strategies for handling mistakes effectively. To cultivate a mindset that embraces growth rather than denial, consider these key strategies. Acknowledge the mistake quickly. The sooner you recognize and admit an error, the easier it is to correct. Avoiding it only makes matters worse. Take full responsibility. Own up to your mistake without making excuses. Avoid blaming external factors or other people. Analyze what went wrong. Reflect on the situation to understand what led to the mistake. Was it due to a lack of knowledge, oversight, or miscommunication? Identifying a root cause helps prevent recurrence. Apologize when necessary. If your mistake has affected others, offer sincere apology. A heartfelt acknowledgement of the impact of your actions can repair trust and maintain relationships. Learn and implement changes. Turn every mistake into a lesson. Take active steps to improve and adjust your approach moving forward. Seek feedback. Sometimes, an outside perspective can provide valuable insights into what went wrong and how to avoid similar mistakes in the future. Embracing a growth mindset. Ultimately, the most successful individuals understand that mistakes are an inevitable part of life. Instead of fearing them, they view mistakes as opportunities for growth and learning. By developing the ability to admit and correct errors, they continuously improve themselves and their abilities. The next time you make a mistake, remember that your response matters more than the mistake itself. Choose honesty over denial, accountability over blame, and growth over stagnation. In doing so, you will not only earn the respect of those around you, but also build a stronger, wiser version of yourself. 6. Don't overshare future plans. In the age of social media and constant connectivity, it's tempting to share our goals, dreams, and plans with the world. We feel an almost instinctual need to announce our intentions, seeking validation from friends, family, and even strangers online. However, oversharing future plans can be counterproductive, leading to unnecessary pressure, loss of motivation, or even unintended obstacles. One of the main reasons people share their goals prematurely is the dopamine hit they receive from external validation. When you tell someone about your ambitious plans, their positive reaction can give you a sense of accomplishment before you've even begun. This false sense of progress can reduce your drive to take actual steps toward your goal. Psychologists have found that discussing your ambitions can create a psychological illusion of progress, making it less likely that you will follow through with real effort. The satisfaction of verbalizing your goals can trick your brain into feeling as if you've already made progress, leaving you with little motivation to take the necessary action steps. Another danger of oversharing is the unintentional pressure it creates. Once you announce your plans, people will expect updates. They may start asking questions about your progress. And if you hit obstacles or change direction, you may feel embarrassed or discouraged. This pressure can make you feel like you're being judged, which can lead to stress and self-doubt. Instead of focusing on your work, you might become more concerned about living up to expectations, even when your strategy needs adjustments. This fear of disappointing others can create unnecessary anxiety and may even cause you to abandon your goal altogether rather than risk perceived failure in front of an audience. Moreover, not everyone you share your plans with will have your best interests at heart. While friends and family might be supportive, others might respond with skepticism, jealousy, or even subtle discouragement. Some might project their fears onto you, telling you why your plans won't work, which implants seeds of doubt in your mind. Others might actively undermine you, either consciously or unconsciously, by discouraging you or withholding helpful opportunities. Some may be envious of your ambition and try to diminish your confidence, while others may simply not understand your vision and unknowingly dampen your enthusiasm. Even well-meaning advice can sometimes be limiting if it comes from individuals who lack the same aspirations or mindset. Intelligent people understand that actions speak louder than words. Instead of seeking validation, they focus on taking deliberate steps toward their goals. Success becomes their announcement. By keeping their plans to themselves, they reduce external pressure, maintain their motivation, and avoid unnecessary roadblocks. So what should you do instead? Rather than talking about what you plan to do, channel that energy into actual progress. Set clear milestones and celebrate achievements privately. If you must share your goals, do so selectively and only with people who genuinely support you and can offer valuable insight or assistance. Choose individuals who will encourage you and hold you accountable in a constructive way, rather than those who might impose doubts or unnecessary expectations. Remember, it's not about secrecy. It's about maintaining focus and protecting your energy. The key takeaway is this: your goals are for you, not for public approval. Silence isn't secrecy. It's strategy. Work diligently behind the scenes and let your achievements do the talking. When the time comes, people will notice your success without you having to broadcast every step of the journey. The greatest achievements often speak for themselves, requiring no verbal fanfare. Keep moving forward. Stay committed to your path, and let the results serve as proof of your efforts. Your words shape your reality. The way you communicate affects how you think, act, and experience life. By eliminating these 6 habits, you cultivate wisdom, integrity, and inner peace. Each habit you change brings you closer to a more mindful and intentional life. The power of language goes beyond simple conversations. It influences how you perceive the world and how the world perceives you. The journey to self-improvement isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Even small changes in how you speak and think can have a profound impact on your personal and professional life. The power to transform your mindset and habits is in your hands. Awareness is the first step. By recognizing and addressing these unhelpful tendencies, you empower yourself to become more intentional in your actions, leading to a life of greater fulfillment, confidence, and clarity. As you reflect on these 6 habits, consider which ones resonate most with you. Which of these habits will you start changing today? What small, actionable steps can you take to replace them with more constructive behaviors? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. We'd love to hear your insights and support you on your journey toward growth and self-mastery. And remember, if you found value in this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content. See you next time